here is a list of all the good BL Omega verses out there. I just put them here for you right at the beginning of this video. You can just pause this video and screenshot, the names, and I hope you will enjoy them all. Because in this video, I'm going to fully explain what OmegaVerse actually is. Because why not? We love to see babies. We love to see men getting pregnant. We love to see baby bumps on men. We love to see men giving birth to those babies. We are adorable freaks like that, and I love us. So, let's start. Hi, I'm Cosplay, your Yaoi guide. I'm so happy that you are here today. And today we are going to discuss what this infamous OmegaVerse even is. Because some of us just got lost in the first BL OmegaVerse she read, and she was so confused. I think my first BL OmegaVerse, obviously was Low Tide in Twilight, and I was like, what do you mean Taiju can get Yoon pregnant? What do you mean? Because I didn't know what OmegaVerse is, so I was so shocked, I was so stunned, okay? So, maybe now if you know the dynamics, the rules and the costumes, or even the essence of an OmegaVerse, you will enjoy reading this type of fiction, mostly in BL manhwas, and you will understand the characters more. An OmegaVerse is actually a fictional world-building system, like it's some fictional universe, in which people really don't care about their real genders. Like in an OmegaVerse, it really doesn't matter if you are female or male or non-binary, because OmegaVerse it is also called ABO, as you can see here. In an OmegaVerse, there are secondary genders, okay, and people judge you based on that secondary genders that have been developed in the genes of those people in an OmegaVerse for decades. Okay, I don't remember what started. It has a history, but I don't remember what was the history, where this OmegaVerse, this universe came from. But we have 3 secondary genders in an OmegaVerse, and I'm going to explain all 3 of them in this video. But before that, I want you to understand the real essence of OmegaVerse, especially in BL and BL manhwas. Okay, because yes, it's a question of consent and authority and power dynamic. Yes, we all know that. But mostly what makes OmegaVerse so addictive and so interesting is biology versus love. Because the people in an OmegaVerse, like those who are in an OmegaVerse, they have to fight back their real instincts and their own biologies when they fall in love. And these two somehow can be opposites. Like somehow they fall in love with a type, with a secondary gender that is not appropriate for them. So yes, it's a battle of biology against love. After explaining the 3 secondary genders, alpha, beta and omega, we are going to also discuss the most important terms in an OmegaVerse, which are, for example, pheromones. What are pheromones? What is knotting and bonding? And maybe the concept of impreg or male pregnancy in general. So let's start discussing the secondary genders, starting with alpha. Who is an alpha in an OmegaVerse? Okay, alphas are the most important figures in an OmegaVerse because they are physically more strong, they are really independent, they are really confident, and they hold the power in an OmegaVerse because they are physically strong and they have a very, very powerful pheromones. An OmegaVerse is not really similar to us normal humans. OmegaVerse is more similar to a pack of wolves. Imagine, like, we normal humans, we see people, we understand them, we evaluate them based on their character. Not in an OmegaVerse. In an OmegaVerse, people smell each other. So imagine, they are not normal humans, they are more like wolves, So exactly in a pack of wolves, alpha is the leader. So somehow he has this great sense of responsibility, he or she, that's the amazing part. And alpha can impregnate everyone and never get pregnant mostly. Like this rule can be bent, okay? Like there are many alphas that can be impregnated by another alpha, but that's just the taste of different authors when it comes to OmegaVerse. But an alpha can impregnate everyone, and that's really interesting because the real genders of 2 people in an OmegaVerse really doesn't matter. If we have a female alpha and a male omega, the female alpha impregnates the omega man. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you have to be a man, a male, in order to impregnate other. As long as you are an alpha, you can impregnate everyone, even if you are a woman. So that's really interesting, you know what I mean? So alphas go into a rut, maybe once a month, and it can last between a week or 10 days, even more, based on author again. And a rut is a cycle, a period of the alpha's highest sexual drive. And when they are in a rut, when alphas are in a rut, they have this urge, this desperate urge to mate, you know, to find an omega or a beta or another alpha, again based on the author of that OmegaVerse, that fiction. They need to do the mating, the nutting, you know, impregnating someone else. Okay, so in most of the OmegaVerse, especially in BL manhwas and BL in general, alphas are shown to be leaders, CEOs, fighters, because they are physically really strong, they are more dominant. And somehow we see that they abuse their power, they become aggressive, but most of the time they emotionally develop and become better people. Now, betas. What's a beta in an OmegaVerse? Beta is the most similar type secondary gender in an OmegaVerse, similar to us normal humans. Like, they are called the neutral secondary genders because first, they really don't have urges that much. They are more quiet and overlooked. They don't experience rut cycle or heat cycle. Normally, not generally, normally they cannot impregnate anyone and they cannot get pregnant. They don't really have strong pheromones. So we usually see them as secretaries or assistants, you know, the trusted ones. Because they cannot release pheromones, they cannot somehow arouse each other or other people. And as I said, betas can be really underestimated and overlooked. But in the most OmegaVerse BLs and BL manhwas that we read, betas are actually really intelligent. Like, they are the mastermind, the brains behind everything. They are so quiet and detached, and they just don't involve themselves in any dramas between alphas and omegas, but somehow they hold the intelligence power in an OmegaVerse, and they live in the shadows and do everything behind the scenes, you know. So yes, betas are really interesting, and if I'm not mistaken, after omegas, betas are the majority of people with these secondary genders in an OmegaVerse. Now omegas, okay, omegas are those secondary genders that they are represented as fragile, emotional, and vulnerable, that almost need protection from their alphas. You know, somehow it bums me out because omegas in an OmegaVerse is the rules of OmegaVerse. Okay, in an OmegaVerse, omegas should be owned and protected. Like, they are somehow belongings of a society in an OmegaVerse. Their body is for breeding, and it really pissed me off. But exactly in this secondary gender, among omegas, we have amazing power bottoms. Like, those power bottoms, those omega power bottoms, who beat the hell out of their alphas. But if we exclude the power bottoms, omegas are usually shown as the weaker type. You know, the one that is emotional, that is needy, that is somehow clumsy, that needs protection and safety. You know, yes, that's why we love power bottoms omegas. Okay, but an omega goes into a heat cycle. Heat cycle again is that period of time for an omega with a very high sexual drive and need for mating and to get pregnant. And omega can get pregnant by literally everyone. Like, as I said, society sees an omega, unfortunately, as just a breeding tool. That's why I love omega power bottoms. Again, I have to say this a lot. But yeah, that's just an omega. Now, the terms that you must know when you read an OmegaVerse. The term you read a lot or hear a lot about it is called pheromones. Pheromones is a sense of smell, like the sense that people in an OmegaVerse have, okay? Like I said it, OmegaVerse is not like the normal world. It's more like a pack of wolves. People detect scents from each other, like they can smell each other. alphas detect their omegas with their smells. Okay, so when people like one who smells those pheromones, who gets those scents, can emotionally and physically react to those pheromones. Like if it's a loved one, like a partner or the mate that person chooses, it's more pleasant, it's more arousing, you know, a call for mating. Or even danger, like when an omega is in a distress, he or they releases pheromones, and his mate, his alpha, can detect it and comes to the rescue. Okay, but if it's a stranger, it can be really repulsive. Like people get nauseated when they smell each other's pheromones when they are not attached, you know. So you know that if you watch Desire, you understand that. Now, the last term for this video, like discussing an OmegaVerse in PL, is I think it's called bonding or nutting. Okay, nutting is it happens in our world too. Nutting is that process of impregnating someone, so it's obvious. But when it comes with bonding, if you read the BL manhwa Kiss Me If You Can, or if you watch the BL anime Tadaima Okaeri, it's a form of marking your mate. Usually alphas mark their omegas, and marking, it means you chose this partner for life. Like you are pledging your loyalty forever after marking your partner. And how do you mark your partner or your omega? With your teeth. Yes, with your mouth and your teeth. Usually the alpha bites a specific part of an omega's body to mark them. Marking is really important. Not only it's a pledge of loyalty, but it protects the omega from other alphas. You know, it's like a mark. It's like marking your territory, like saying this omega is mine, no one should approach them, you know. So like in Kiss Me If You Can, you can see that they bite the ear. Like there is a permanent mark on the ear when the alpha bites it, and that omega is marked for life. Or mostly, like generally and mostly, it's a bite mark in the back of the neck of an omega. Like in the back of the neck, there is like a round bite mark that shows that, okay, this omega belongs to an alpha. And somehow it can be both terrifying and really romantic, if you ask me. That was it for today's video. I'm so happy that you watched it until here. Leave your own favorite OmegaVerse, BL OmegaVerse, or OmegaVerse in general, your favorite one, in the comment section. I would love to see what you are reading when it comes to an OmegaVerse. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to Cosplay's channel. I do character analysis, BL manhwa recommendations, and fun BL videos. I will see you again soon. Stay safe, read yaoi, and I will see you again. Love you.